This one is really important, and I want you to sit back. I want you to get comfortable. I need you to pay attention because I'm about to walk you through a story that is so wild, so dripping with absurdity, among other things, that you're going to want to need some time to process it. Donald Trump is a new fixation. Now, forget about the crowd sizes, the mind's bigger than yours. Forget about the southern border wall. Build that wall. Forget about that. Forget making Canada the 51st state absurd. Nothing compared to his new obsession. South African farmers. Yeah, I'm being serious. Donald Trump is obsessed for some reason with South African farmers. On March 7th, he took to his social media site to announce that he is offering these farmers a, quote, rapid pathway to U.S. citizenship. Why? Because according to him, South Africa is, quote, being terrible to them, confiscating their land and subjecting them to, quote, much worse than that. Whatever that is supposed to mean. He is inviting these farmers, he's inviting their spouses, their kids, their cousins to come to America and to get a fast pass to the red, white, and blue. Now, I've got some questions. I have some big questions. I think this is a window into who Donald Trump really is, who he has always been, and who he thinks America belongs to. So let's break it down. First things first. Who is he talking about when he says South African farmers? Exactly who's he talking about? Let's not be coy here. He's not talking about the black folks who have tilled their country's soil for centuries, who were shoved into townships under apartheid, who watched their land get snatched by colonial settlers and never given back. He's not talking about those folks. No. He's talking about white Afrikaner farmers, the descendants of Dutch and British colonizers who held on to massive estates since the 1600s. These are the folks he is shedding tears for, claiming that they are victims of some grand injustice. He's pointing to South Africa's new land reform push, the Expropriation Act, signed into law just last year, which lets the government take land without compensation if the property is not being used and there is no intention to either develop or make money from it. Now, Trump is framing this like it is a targeted assault, a racist plot to strip white farmers of their livelihoods. He's even hinting at violence, echoing these far-right conspiracies about white genocide that have been bouncing around social media, Twitter for years. But let's get the context straight, because Trump certainly won't get the context straight. South Africa's history isn't a mystery, it is a wound. Apartheid didn't just segregate people, it was a land grab on an epic scale. By the time it ended in 1994, white South Africans, about 9% of the population, owned 87% of the fertile land. Native black South Africans, the overwhelming majority, were left with scraps. The now democratically elected government has been trying to fix that ever since. But progress has been slow, too slow for a lot of people. This new law, it is messy, it is controversial, and yeah, it's got flaws. Everything does. Critics say it risks economic instability. Supporters say it is long overdue justice. Are there risks of corruption? Sure. Has it been politicized? Absolutely. But Trump is acting like it is a state-sponsored hate crime, and that is a lie. Critics and the people who have been reporting on this say that they see the fingerprints of one person all over this, and that is Elon Musk. Musk was born in Pretoria, raised in the twilight of apartheid. He's long been preoccupied with South African farmers and what he calls a, quote, slow white genocide, unquote, in South Africa. South Africa, look at what happened with apartheid. It seems to me that you should be someone who is more understanding of that, considering where you came from, considering your history.
Yeah. There's a slow white genocide going on in South Africa. Do you care about that?
Considering how close they are, critics say that he is possibly whispering in Donald Trump's ear. Come on, that's what they're saying, but they're close. But let's bring this home, because this isn't just about Pretoria. It is about Peoria, Illinois. It is about every American community where our farmers are struggling. Trump's out here promising citizenship to white South African farmers like he is Oprah giving away cars. You get a visa and you get a visa and you get a visa. Meanwhile, he has spent his entire career demonizing immigrants from Haiti, from Honduras, from Mexico, calling them rapists and criminals. Where's his compensation for the folks fleeing gang violence in Port-au-Prince? Where's his generosity for the families stuck at the border in Texas? Oh, but white farmers from halfway across the world? Step right up, folks. The golden escalator's waiting. And here's the part that really burns me up, that it just gets me. If I can't sleep, it's because of this. This is urgent for black farmers. Where's his urgency for that? Let's talk about the history of that, because it is not a dusty textbook chapter. It is a living, breathing betrayal.
The people who've been clearly discriminated and documented throughout history here in the United States are black farmers, capital B.
Can you imagine some of these white Afrikaner farmers ending up with land that black farmers may have owned but couldn't afford it? Rewind to 1865, the end of the Civil War. Black folks, newly freed, were promised 40 acres and a mule, right? It was a glimmer of hope, a chance at the American dream. But what happened? President Andrew Johnson, a sympathizer to the Old South, said, nah, never mind, not going to happen. He handed that land right back to the Confederate planters, leaving black families with nothing but broken promises. But still, they persevered. By 1910, about 1 million black farmers owned 15 million acres. 15 million scraped together through sweat, grit, and sheer will. But that wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a slow, deliberate theft. Enter Jim Crow, enter the lynch mobs, enter the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, which turned into a weapon against black farmers. For decades, they denied loans to black applicants while white farmers got handouts. Disaster relief after floods and droughts, well, white farmers got it. Black farmers got a shrug. Subsidies, same deal. By the 1980s, the USDA's own Civil Rights Office found rampant discrimination, county officials laughing in black farmers' faces, tossing their applications right in the trash. In the 1990s, the Pickford v. Glickman lawsuit laid it bare. Thousands of black farmers cheated out of billions in wealth, forced to sell their land or lose it to foreclosure. By 2000, those 50 million acres down to 1.5 million, 90% gone. And even now in 2025, they're still fighting for justice, still waiting on payments from that settlement, still watching corporate giants like Monsanto and Tyson scoop up what is left. So Donald Trump, let me ask you something. Where's your social media post on them? Where's your rapid pathway for the black farmers in Mississippi who have lost everything to systemic racism? Where's your executive order for the families in Georgia whose grandparents were sharecroppers, whose parents were denied loans, whose kids can't afford the taxes on what little land they have clung to? You get time to play white knight for Afrikaners 8,000 miles away, but you're silent when it comes to the descendants of the enslaved right here at home. You're mute when it's the USDA, your own government agency, sitting on a legacy of theft that is still bleeding out today. And let's not kid ourselves. Trump can't just wave a wand and rewrite citizenship laws. That's Congress's job. It's not his job. The Immigration and Nationality Act doesn't have a South African farmer fast lane. He'd need a bill, he needs votes, and he needs a process. This is a stunt, pure and simple. It's red meat for his base, a nod to what white replacement paranoia that he has really been flirting with since Charlottesville. He is banking on the optics. White farmers as noble victims, black and brown immigrants as threats. It is the same game that he has played since day one. But I'm not done, because this is bigger than Trump. It is about us, America. We've got to look in the mirror. If we're serious about justice, we don't start with a photo op for foreign farmers. We start with the ones we have failed for centuries. Give tax breaks, loan forgiveness, land grants to the people who have been here building this country, feeding this country, while getting nothing but a kick in the teeth in return. South Africa's land fight, that's their story to wrestle with. Messy, painful, and not our lane. But Trump's making it his lane because it fits his brand, privilege over principle. He doesn't care about farmers. He cares about headlines. And until he proves me wrong, until he puts his money where his mouth is for black American farmers, this is just noise, loud, ugly, and predictable. So wake up, America. We've got work to do, and it starts right here, not across the ocean. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.